What's good, everybody? Welcome back to your daily update on Terraluna. We're talking burns, and 1 billion tokens have been burnt. Let's take a look at it. Before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel for all of your Terraluna updates and equally everything else going on in the market. We stream every night from 9 PM GMT, so come and hang out. And let's jump into this one. So look at the chart, 5895, currently up 1.5%, but we are seeing a significant tail off in volume, quite a bit, probably 25% of where we've been over the kind of last week. So we do see, I mean, in the total market, yeah, so we have seen volume tailor off in the total market. People are just really nervous right now in terms of what's going to happen. Something like Luna, or equally in the DeFi space, they are incredibly risky players right now. You can see on the technicals we are in a neutral stance point, so people don't know where to buy or where to sell. People are just kind of wait and see what comes out, wait and see what adaptation happens to the project, and whether they should get in. Now, what we are seeing with this is the burn mechanisms. Like I said, over a billion tokens burnt, 0.0145% of the total supply. It does break it down there into quite a few different ones. So we see MEXC with a significant burn, Qcoin also burning. The big question is, when will Binance burn that? That wallet's now tipped 2.2 trillion tokens, which is absolutely insane. They are really stacking the supply, but there's going to be I'm really digging into these wallets. So there's going to be a video coming out really shortly about that, but we do see a burn. Now, we haven't really seen that work too much on the price, and we are going to kind of see it fluctuate as these burns start to go through and whether that gets implemented. Now, the big one is, we saw a tweet yesterday from the Terra Rebels. These are the guys, community-driven guys, that are going to implement the 1.2% burn on every transaction, which will then talk about the kind of what that's going to mean for things like staking. So here is their kind of page. You can go into it and start to dig around and look into everything they're working on. These guys have been involved in Terraluna a lot longer than I think they kind of make out. So you can go into some of these proposals. You can kind of check all the data. Now, I'm not a super analytical code guy. I don't know how to write code. Sort of half know how to read it in some respects, but you can see these kind of propose all the things that have been changing by this particular team on the blockchain. Now, we know this one had to be implemented by the group of developers as opposed to being an automatic change to the values as opposed to the coding, but when they are doing it, we can see they're doing that. Equally, we can see when we go back onto the main page and we can go into the repositories and you can see all the things that they're working on. You can see what they've done. You can equally go into the test project, excuse me, to overview, and then you can click into the test operator. You can see this is the implementation of the classic core, so the actual changing of it. You can see there's all the different parts of code. Definitely go and check it out. I'll leave a link to this in the description down below if you want to come and have a look and really understand what is going on. But it's in the works. It clearly isn't implemented just yet, but hopefully we'll get there pretty soon. We have got another proposal that's dropped on, proposal 4095, which is all about re-enabling staking, so delegation to existing active validator sets only. Now, we have seen that with the 1.2% tax and equally the 35% tax on a monthly basis should, because of the wallet size, support a staking mechanism that goes in that. Now, for those of you who don't know, when Terra was its old self, it had a staking platform, a very successful staking platform, with a lot of the applications that land on this. They already had that staking platform, and you could stake it. You can see it here on the left-hand side. Now, on the Terraluna Classic blockchain, we don't have that staking facility just yet because there isn't a wallet big enough to support it. Now, what we're asking here is that the ability to create new validators will remain disabled until block height, you know, that particular number there, or 22nd of August 2022. New validators can be created only after that block. But what it's asking is the re-enable staking delegation of Terra Classic exclusively to the current active validator set for a period of 60 days. Basically, what they're trying to do is support the validators that are going to uphold Luna Classic as opposed to the Terra 2.0. So it just makes the blockchain much more stable, it makes it much quicker, and equally then just supports everything that they want to do. And I do think Luna Classic is getting the momentum over 2.0, so 92.25%. Does look like this one will pass. Another 5 days to go. Now, the big question obviously is this required to be implemented by a coder, or is it an automatic change? My view right now is it probably will be invited by a coder because it's not a parameter change, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk to you about is just the burn wallets. I talked very at the start about this mega burn that a lot of exchanges have done. So we can see this wallet here, the Terra Burn wallet, we can see, like I said, volume is down, so we can still see people are sending it to burn. But what this tells us is currently the 1.2% tax is not implemented into the blockchain. So we're going to stay really close to that. 184 transactions, stay really close to that. I do think once that lands, we'll definitely start to see some price movement, but it's all going to be about how we can sustain a decent amount of volume. Remember, this was over $1 trillion, a trillion tokens at one point, down at 280 billion is a significant drop off, but in line with probably the market. So we'll have to wait and see. But 1.2%, 35% burn, 1.2% burn. It's going to be pretty crazy. We'll have to take a close look on this. Very divided about what people think is going to happen with this project. Is it done or is it just getting started? We're going to have to wait and see. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button and notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next video.